In this video, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into something I talked about in my last video, and it's something I've hardly heard anybody ever talk about when it comes to catching bass in cold water. Whether it's because they simply don't realize it even works, or maybe they're keeping quiet about it. Either way, I'm talking about fishing the lily pad stalks, or the stems, in water that's under 50 degrees. This works especially well in ponds since a lot of them have some type of a lily pad filled area. And bank anglers, listen up, this one's for you too. I literally had a coworker come up to me the other day and he said he was down by the pond that's near his house and he was just wondering where his boat went because it got blown off of whatever he had it on in some strong winds. And he had a pole in his truck, so he decided to cast the line into the water, and he said as it got to the shoreline, he got bit and he caught a nice largemouth bass that he could fit his hand into. And he added, because the point of this story is he added at the end of it that it was right where some lily pads used to be. So if you are a bank angler and you're in reach of where you know lily pads are in the warmer months, do not hesitate to fish them. Now there's some instances where this pattern works better than others. The perfect scenario is if you have a pond that's rather void of other hard cover, like you might have a log or two here and there or a rock pile somewhere else. But other than that, it's like all open water, but one huge area of lily pads on the other side of the open water. And in some cases, the lily pads are like thicker and more sturdy than others, and they hang around longer in the colder months. These pad stem fields end up becoming a magnet for habitat. The ground is darker, which retains more heat. The pad stems are like a jungle down there, so it's a place for bait fish to come and hide in, and where there's bait fish, there's bass. And maybe not in every instance, but usually where a lily pad field ends is where deeper water begins, which adds further to the attraction for a bass to be in and around it. So it's just a short swim away from shallow cover when the sun's out, and then it can just dip down into deeper water as it pleases. So when it comes to fishing these pad stem fields, you're basically just remember that the water is cold, so don't fish too fast. So what I would try to do is just slow roll something like a spinnerbait or a swim jig or a weedless swim bait, whether it's a big one or a small one. And what you want to do is make the baits bump into the stems. You want that contact with those things because it adds to a reaction bite, just like a crankbait bouncing off of rocks. It's like maybe it looks like a dying bait fish just trying to swim around and it's just bumping into everything and looks like an easy meal. Other baits that I would try would be a jig, whether you want to just flip it in and out of like targeted spots that you see that you think would hold a bass. Or if you have any room between the surface of the water and the pad stems, you can try to slow roll or creep one of these striking hybrid hunters just under the surface and like reel it in really slow. That can be effective. And a jerkbait, a suspending one, for the edges of these pad fields, kind of where the deeper water begins. That can be really deadly. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go out and catch a whole lot of fish doing this or get a whole lot of bites, but you'll get some quality bites. But the instance in which you can get a lot of bites is if the pond that you're on has these pad stems as almost their only form of shallow water cover available. And with any and all of these cold water methods that we talk about, you need it to be on a sunny, warmer afternoon for it to heat up the area in the first place for it to shine. If you found this helpful and if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you missed any of my other cold water tips videos, they'll be right here-ish. And I'll see you there.